so technically I'm late right now, but you know, I've started the intro video now, so like 1 minute 40 to go. If I talk now, does this count as me being on time, or is it still FPL late? I don't know. My name is Dan and I like to plan my fantasy team every day. Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do, make our dreams come true. Here we go, we're talking about fantasy. Yes indeed, all day long. Well actually not all day, just for a couple of hours, because after that it's so hot I need a shower. Like, that is content, guys. That counts as content. Bro in the chat says, where is Let's Talk FPL? Wrong channel, bro. Wrong channel. Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2023-24 season. My name is Dan. I'm wearing a hat today because I've got like bad hat hair. Like, what is going on? Serves me right for wearing a hat all day. But it's a sunny day in the United Kingdom. Sunny day. It's been hot. It's been nice weather. And I'm sweating out. I'm not going to lie. Wearing a football shirt. I might actually have to switch to like a cotton t-shirt at some point during this stream. If we're sweating out too much, but hey, that is part of the commitment, guys. First of all, before we do anything, I need to say thank you, because if you guys look right about here, if you guys check out right here, we did it. 200,000 subscribers. I'm so happy. I'm so gassed today, guys. Thank you so much. Woke up this morning to 200,000 subscribers, and genuinely, like, it's nuts. Like, I set the target to try and hit 200,000 subscribers by like the final like of the Euros, and honestly, the only reason I set it to so far away is because I didn't think we'd hit this milestone until the FPL content starts up again. And I thought we'd probably be starting up FPL content within the next week or so. So maybe we'd have a little bit of FPL content, and maybe that would give us the push we needed to get to 200,000 subscribers. Never did I imagine that we would hit it this soon. So yeah, honestly, thank you. I know there's a lot of new people around at the moment for the streams, for the videos. I love doing this international content stuff because it brings in a whole new audience. So like, massive shout out, and let me know in the chat if you are new to the videos, to the streams, just so I can say thank you, so I can say welcome, because it's awesome. It's awesome. Roman in the chat saying everyone unsub. You'd have to do a job, because it's like we've blitzed past it. We're like let me actually check, because we are way past 200,000 at this point. Let's see here. It's good. Yeah, 200,170. It's honestly, guys are legends. You guys are legends. Thank you all, everyone, for the nice messages in the chat. Got a few new people. Jose Einsteiner. Legends. Fox channel says, do not waste our time, just submit your team. Wow. I'm trying to have a moment. Trying to have a moment here. I'm happy. I'm a happy guy. We got 2 hours till deadline. What's the rush? There's no rush. We're good. We're chilling. We're chilling, guys. Come on. Come on. So yeah, thank you for indulging me for a second there. But yes, we need to show team. The show team gang are here, and they are here. Where they are here, and they mean business, because they are here purely. They don't want to hear the soppy stuff. They're not interested. They want to see a team that they can copy for Matchday 3 and nothing more. I am but a receptacle to fulfill that purpose. And that purpose I will fulfill. There you go. There you go. Any reasons why I'm wearing the Spain shirt? The Spain shirt is on because I think it's a Spain kind of day. I think it's a Spain kind of match day. I think it is. Because we're expecting big things. We're expecting big things. Any Spanish in the chat? Any Spanish people want to join in on the conversation? ¿Hablas español? ¿Sí? No comprende. ¿Qué pasa? That's about as far as I go. Right, so okay, on screen right now, in front of you guys, I have put up where I am at in terms of match day 3. Limitless is active. It is activated, and I'm almost there. I have a few more picks that I need to kind of finalize, I think. But in terms of what we got so far, let me read it out to you for everyone who is kind of maybe you're doing the dishes, maybe you're playing some video games whilst enjoying the stream, and you want some audio. Let me give it to you. Before I do that, quick shout out to FPL, who has just become a member of the channel. Thank you very much for becoming a member, Alf. And yeah, do enjoy the emojis, because that's just about all I have for you right now. There we go. Oh, sí. Muchos rotaciones. Is that how you say that? Is it? I don't know. Got a couple of Portuguese. I don't think there's too many Spanish who watch FPL, mate. But I do appreciate if you do. Never like this channel's never appealed to the Spanish. But maybe, well, you know, the Spanish shirt might help that a little bit. We'll give a big shout out to the Espanol. Okay, let me talk through this team. So right now, my front line, I think is there. Mbappe, I think, is a no-brainer. Masked Mbappe, ready to cook. Yeah, he played like a friendly game to try and test out wearing the mask, see if he could still produce at the highest level whilst wearing a mask. 2 goals, 2 assists. So I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes, that Mbappe can play in a mask, and he is going to be ready to go as France play Poland. Poland, by the way, knocked out of the competition. Poland are out, nothing to play for, playing with presumably a lot of freedom. And France are the complete opposite. They need to top their group, and in order to top their group, they need to score goals. They need goal difference, big time. So we expect this France team, to go out there. Spain on the mind. France team to go out there and score some goals, get a decent goal difference, and I think that is gonna also play into the hands of the defenders a little bit there as well. They'll look to score goals and not concede many. Keep it as like a biggest goal difference as they can, and that is going to be Mbappe to get the goals. And it's difficult to pick other forwards from France because we're limited on our forward slots. And no French midfielders really stand out to me in terms of goal threat. I know people will probably talk about Kante. He's been a really, really solid player for France, but he's not a goal threat. And if France, stop talking about Spain. I can't stop thinking about Spain. If France do, are looking to score goals, who's it going to be? It's going to be Mbappe. It's going to be Griezmann. Don't mind Griezmann as a punt, by the way, but Mbappe is the main guy. My other forwards I've gone for is Lukaku. People are going to slate Lukaku, a lot. That's fine. I'm still confident about Lukaku because I feel he is getting an insane amount of chances to score. There's not really any players I've seen in this tournament who is getting as many chances to score as Lukaku. And eventually, the numbers suggest that Lukaku is going to be a very high-scoring player moving forward. 3 goals disallowed. That bad luck doesn't last forever, and it's only a matter of time before he turns that around. Got an assist in last match day as well, so, he has that ability to hold the ball up, create for his teammates. And Diogo Jota is my final pick in the forward positions. A little bit risky here. I do expect Portugal to rotate. In fact, we have seen that Portugal manager Martinez has literally come out and said, happy to have qualified. Now it's time to rotate the team. So I do think we are expecting a very different Portugal lineup in matchday 3 compared to matchdays 1 and 2. There might be still a couple of players who play all 3 games, given in particular that Portugal, their round of 16 game would not be for like 10 days. I think it would be 10 days. So there is a bit of time there. But at the same time, they're going to want to keep some of their players fresh, particularly the older players, particularly some players who have played a lot of minutes already. And Jota is in line for a start in this final match day. And I think we've got a real opportunity here because Georgia have been weak defensively. And I would like to capitalise on that. And to capitalise on that, that involves taking a little bit of risk here on a player we predict to start rather than a player who has any evidence of starting so far. So we've got the likes of Jota likely to start. We have players like Bruno Fernandes. If anyone is going to start all 3 games in the group stage, it's probably going to be Bruno Fernandes. If he does start, great, but there is a bit of risk there. Ronaldo, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. He's 40 years old, man. 39. He is old. Like, respectfully, he's an old dude. And if he wants to, win the Euros, and he wants to have the best impact possible he can for this Portugal team, he is going to need to be at his peak fitness. And that is going to mean occasionally missing the games. He has played a lot of minutes so far. And it would make sense to rest him in this game. Now, a lot of people have suggested, well, Ronaldo is he's a selfish player. He's going to want to break records, blah, blah, blah. There's definitely a possibility that could be true. And I'm not categorically ruling out Ronaldo from starting, but I think we saw from Ronaldo kind of squaring the ball to Fernandes in that last game. We have that evidence that maybe he is feeling a little bit more unselfish. He wants to be a leader. He wants to be, he wants his team to win, and that's his priority. So I think there is maybe a slight shift in focus for him. So I wonder. I just don't want to. I don't want to say that Ronaldo is gonna start because I don't think he is. But I don't want to say he's definitely not going to start either. A few people in the chat calling me ageist. Rohan says, "Dude, I'm 60." Rohan, I'm sure you could kick a ball, my friend. But I would not be starting you, Rohan. 3 games in the group stages, 90 minutes, 3 games. I'm not starting you 3 games, Rohan. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. You're going to have to go on the bench. Oh, dear. So that's the forward line. Mbappe, Lukaku, Jota. In midfield, so far I've only got 3 players. Kevin De Bruyne makes a lot of sense. Like this fixture for Belgium against Ukraine. I particularly like this fixture because Belgium are another team with a lot to play for right now. Portugal, don't have anything to play for, likely to rotate. Belgium, everything to play for. Really tight in that group still. And it's going to be very important that the likes of Lukaku and De Bruyne are playing. And therefore, we've got to pick them. Man of the match and a goal last match day. Set piece taker, key player. And if you're on a limitless, 9.5 million is no issue. No drama. Easy. Spend the cash. Musiala is my next midfielder. And I'm not locked on Musiala. This is very much dependent on what the Germany lineup looks like. But from what I know, Musiala is set to start. We'll see what happens when we get to... Well, we only got 45 minutes. We'll have the official lineup for Germany, and we will make changes based on that information. But Musiala is set to start. I think that's very plausible, particularly when you consider that he was substituted 74 minutes in the first game, 72 minutes in the second game. He's not a player who's been playing 90 minutes every game or anything like that. So looks likely to continue to start. The players I'm more worried about is like Gundogan. If I had to predict whether Gundogan would start or not, I would say that if he does, he is coming off early, particularly if Germany can get an early foothold in that game. Germany, of course, needing to draw their game to top their group. Let me just double check. That is true, isn't it? Yes. Well, yes, because they play Switzerland. So if they draw against Switzerland, they go through in first. And it's really important that they go through in first, because if they finish second, then they play England. Assuming England win their group, they would play England in the round of 16. And that's something that Germany will look to avoid. So they need to win. This is not going to be a massive rotation job for Germany. There will be early substitutions, particularly if Germany manage to go 1 or 2 goals up in the first half. I can definitely see some half-time substitutions, and therefore be aware. We'll get to it in 45 minutes when the Germany lineups are out. But there's a lot of players we need to be wary of. Even if they do start, that might not be enough for us to go for those kind of players. So just a little warning on that one. Oyarzabal is the final player in my midfield as things stand. We, of course, have 2 empty slots that we've got to fill up in the next hour and 45. I like Oyarzabal a lot. He is a player who scored 4 goals in the warm-up games for the Euros. He plays as a central striker a lot of the time when he does play for Spain. He has been a fringe player, not really getting the minutes so far in the Euros. However, of course, we found out this match day that Spain have qualified in first. They cannot finish any lower than first because they already beat Italy in their head-to-head. So Spain are guaranteed to finish top of their group, and everyone I've spoken to with regards to the Spanish national team are expecting wholesale rotation. I'm talking literally every position on the pitch could be rotated. Therefore, every player that you pick from Spain who has done well so far in the Euros, it's very likely that if they've done so well so far, it's because they've been playing so far. And if they've been playing so far, they are due a rest. I would be really cautious, really cautious about the likes of Carvajal, Pedri, Morata, Cucurella. These Spanish players, we need to think outside the box. And we need to make some predictions because Spain are going to rotate. Big time. Big time. Similar with Portugal. So I like Oyarzabal because of the positions that he plays on the pitch, the fact that he is a goal scorer by nature, the fact he is listed as a midfielder in the Euro fantasy game. This is all great big information. This is what we like. And I posted a tweet out earlier actually saying that if you are picking Oyarzabal in your Euro fantasy team, it's because you know bull. It's because you are a fantasy football nerd. Go for it. Go for it. Of course, there's no guarantee that any of this comes off. This Spain team that's playing Albania, it's not going to be the Spain team we saw in match day 1 and 2. You know, we were really impressed by Spain. 3-0 against Croatia, 1-0 against Italy. We've been really impressed with the team so far. Even though they only scored 1 goal against Italy, the attacking football they were playing was scintillating. It was really good stuff. It's not going to be the same lineup against Albania. So I don't know if we can necessarily expect Spain to go and, win 4 or 5-0, as you might expect the main Spain team to do. But they're going to give it a good go. Albania need to come out and do something if they want to progress. Albania realistically need a win, actually, if they want to go through to the next round. So it's not like Albania can sit back either. So we could be looking at some good opportunities here. And I think Oyarzabal is definitely one of them. Another player I like is Dani Olmo. I think Oyarzabal is more likely to start than Olmo, but I think realistically both of them start, particularly if Olmo is playing the Pedri position. We saw Pedri playing really nice and advanced up by the striker, up by Morata. It's kind of a 2. And that was kind of the way they were playing, setting up in attack. So I do expect Dani Olmo to be very much involved as well. So yeah, these are my 2 favourite attackers for Spain, Oyarzabal and Dani Olmo. Those are the guys I like. But I'm going for Oyarzabal because of he's more of a goal scorer and he has a good chance of playing as a central striker. I don't think that's guaranteed because Someone's injured. So there's a left winger who I did previously think could play left wing and is now injured, but I can't remember who it is. Who is it? Who's going to find it first, chat or me? It's not Rodri. He's suspended. Not that he'd start anyway. Is he even listed on here? Maybe it's not. Who was it I saw got injured? Was it? Oh, it was Perez. It was Perez. It was Jose Perez. So Jose Perez is a player who is, who maybe would have got minutes previously, but now it's not going to happen, which might mean that hzfCWh goes out to the left. It might mean that Olmo goes out to the left. I'm not sure. Yeah, you guys got it in the chat. Well played. Let's move on from my midfield. So yeah, Olmo is another player I'm definitely considering throwing in, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I want to triple up on the Spain team quite yet. In defense, we've got Koundé, and we may as well say Koundé and Magnon. So we're doubling up on the France defense. We can have a look at some stats and stuff very shortly. We're going to have a look at some goal scoring odds. We're going to have a look at some clean sheet odds as well. And we're going to have a look at some, I've found some tweets and stuff that I think are going to be pretty useful for us. So we'll have a look at them very, very shortly, and that's going to help justify some of these decisions, I think. But yeah, double France defense, good chance of a clean sheet against Poland, particularly if Lewandowski is unlikely to get too many minutes. And also, Poland are out. France need goal difference. Part of goal difference involved keeping it secure at the back. Mark Gahey, absolute ball recovery legend against Slovenia. England, top defense, really, really solid, strong defense during this tournament. Terrible attack, but a strong defense. So if Mark can... yeah, it's just my mate Mark. If my mate Mark... Hang on. You know what? Let me just ring him. Let me just ring my mate Mark. I'm calling Mark, so obviously me and him are tight. Hold on. Just type the number in quick. Well, so he is on international duty, so it might take a minute to pick up. Hello, Mark. Hello, my friend. I hear you've been doing quite well for the ball recoveries. He said he had. He says he has. He's been getting a lot of ball recoveries. Yes. Okay, and you clean sheet? Clean sheet locked in. Wow, you're that confident. My guy. Right, okay. You're going straight in the team then, my friend. Mark, we love it. You're going in the team. Yeah, nice one. Right. Yes, mate. Yes. Yeah. No, I do still need to return the squash equipment. Yeah. When we play squash on Thursday, I'll bring the equipment back then. Okay. All right, Mark. Take care, my friend. Take care. So just my friend Mark, he does like to waffle. He's a bit of a waffler. He's my mate Mark. But he's going off for ball recoveries. We're gonna have a look. We're gonna have a look at the ball recovery numbers shortly. But anyway, we've got Rudiger in here. Expect him to start. Unlike a fullback perhaps from Germany, I would expect the centre-backs from Germany, if they start, they play a lot of minutes. And I think a clean sheet is fairly likely for Germany. I mean, they need at least a draw. They can keep things fairly tight. They don't have to go out there and score goals. And therefore, I think a Germany defender seems pretty smart. So I'm going to go for Rudiger. I like his ball recovery numbers as well. They're good. Again, we're going to have a look at them in a minute. And, yeah, good aerial threat as well. And finally, Grimaldo is the only other player who I'm reasonably locked in on at this moment. Grimaldo I like because, yeah, I mean, I've spoken about him a lot already, but Grimaldo I like because he's super attacking. He's a set-piece taker. If Spain rotate their entire 11, that is going to involve Cucurella getting benched and Grimaldo starting. And therefore, he's going to be a pretty decent fantasy asset. You know, you've got that attacking threat from him against Albania. Clean sheets is always a decent chance of that. I'm not sure he'll do so well for ball recoveries, to be perfectly honest, but you know, he plays reasonably early on in the match day, so he is a player that could potentially be substituted off in my fantasy team if needs be. considering we're talking about defenders, let's have a look at the ball recovery numbers, because I was very, very kindly sent this today, an updated spreadsheet from all of the group stages so far. These are all of the numbers for all of the players. This was collated by FPL Discomfort over on Twitter. Not sure if he's in the stream. He does sometimes appear in streams. But, yes. He sent me this today, and it is a full list of everything. All of the numbers from the Euros so far, which is solid work. Solid work. And what we have, importantly here, is the ball recovery numbers. There's a typo here. Awkward. So here are the numbers. The ball recoveries is what I'm interested in from this list, because this is not publicly shown on the UEFA website, but we have this now. And you can see it. My mate Mark, 17 ball recoveries so far. An absolute ball recovery machine. Oh, he's here. He's here. He's in the chat. Shout out FPL Discomfort, my mate Kieran. Yeah, Mark Gahey, he's a beast. Like, I know a lot of people are probably going to be tempted to say, oh, I'll spend the extra money and go for a Trent. I'll spend the extra money. I'll go for a John Stones. If you're on Limitless in particular, I think a lot of people will be tempted to just spend the extra money and go for the expensive England defender. But, my mate Mark, my guy Mark, he's showing it already. He's showing it already. He is the guy who is going to recover the ball. He is going to be the guy making tackles, making interceptions. That is what we like in Euro Fantasy. Outside of that, it's kind of difficult to pick out players for ball recoveries. We spoke about Rudiger earlier. He is down here at joint, what's that, 15th? 15th, 16th. So he's like reasonably high. 14. That's good in 2 games. 7 ball recoveries per game so far. So that we're looking at an extra 2 points on top of whatever he does in the game. You can get 2 free points. Clean sheet, add an extra 2 free points. Lovely. Beautiful. There has been a couple of other defenders who I think are worth mentioning. Fass, 13 ball recoveries here. Pretty decent. And obviously Belgium is still a defence we're probably reasonably interested in. And I probably maybe people are interested in Castagna for the attacking threat, but don't rule out Face if Belgium do keep a clean sheet and you're looking for, you know, a defender. If no other defenders score goals or get assists, then it is going to be this guy getting the most points. And there's not too much else out there that I'm super confident in right now in terms of ball recoveries. I think the main guys are Gay and Rudiger. Those are the ones I like the most. And Fass is another player I think you could maybe look at. Outside of that, I think we look for maybe more attacking returns. There we go. Ball recoveries is shown on the app, but you don't get to see the total ball recoveries in order. You can't get a list from the UEFA website, and we've got a list right here. Right, anyway. So there was a couple of other tweets I wanted to show. Let's go to clean sheet probabilities, because we are still on defenders and goalkeepers as well. Noel in the chat saying, what can you talk about goalkeepers? We can talk about who's most likely to keep a clean sheet. Okay, this is according to the bookies odds on most likely clean sheets. Portugal and England are topping it. I think Portugal is maybe a little high because it's not taking into account rotation. And I think if rotation happens for Portugal, that maybe weakens their clean sheet probability slightly. So I would say that England, for me, are the top defence to target. I would be looking to double up on the England defence, if possible. One of them should be Gay. The other one should probably be one of Pickford, Stones, or maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold, if you fancy going there. Kyle Walker, I'm not too interested in. Small chance of rotation from Walker, and also doesn't really offer much in attack. His ball recovery numbers are not that good. So therefore, I think you may as well go for someone else. Trent is not nailed either, but he does pose a little bit of attacking threat, and set pieces as well is useful for him. In terms of Trippier, he's a player we mentioned earlier on this for this match day, but it's come out that Trippier is apparently struggling a little bit with injury issues. So it could be that this is the opportunity to rest a Trippier. It is going to be the least important game for England. It's still a very important game for England because they have no guarantee of qualification yet, but if England had to rotate one of their defenders, it's probably going to be Trippier, given that he has got some injury issues right now. So I'm going to put that one out there. I'm personally going to avoid Trippier right now because I'm a little bit worried about that, and I think there are great options elsewhere to a point that there's no real point in risking it. We don't have to risk it. Anyway, after England, we have the likes of France, Spain, and Germany coming in the top 5 positions for clean sheet probabilities. France, 49%. That's pretty decent, you know. And I'd be looking to get 1 or 2 France defenders in your team. Magnon, as a goalkeeper, is a good shout. I don't think any of the France defenders really offer too much in terms of attacking threat. And I know people will say, well, what about Theo Hernandez? Theo Hernandez has historically been an attacking defender. He certainly at club level, he is a very attacking defender. But for France, we haven't really seen too much evidence of that under the current France system. So I think, you know, he's still very much worthy going for, but I wouldn't expect attacking returns for him. Now, if you're looking for ball recoveries from the French players, then there is a player that stands out to me, and his name is Jules Koundé. 11 ball recoveries so far in the tournament. Seems to be pretty nailed on at right back, which is good. Upamecano is another player on the same amount, but I always worry a little bit about Upamecano. I know he's a favourite of the manager, but, you know, if someone's going to drop out of that France defence, is it him? Most likely. So there doesn't seem to be too much point in doing that. If you can go for a right back who's 11 ball recovery so far, you know, looks pretty decent. Looks pretty decent. How would be asked about Van Dijk's ball recovery numbers, by the way? Yeah, let's find Van Dijk. So he's down here around 43rd. So 10 ball recoveries so far. It's not quite the numbers of like players higher up on this list. But yeah, look, it's decent. It's decent. It's not bad. So yeah, going further, Germany, we mentioned Rudiger as the big shout. If you are looking to cut some budget, then Tau would be the player I'd go for ahead of Mittelstadt, I think, because even if Mittelstadt starts, I don't think I don't even know if he makes it to 60 minutes, which is worrying. He is really due a rest. Belgium look pretty good. Fas, Castagna, possibly. If you want to go cheap, Slovakia and Romania, definitely worth talking about. So let's have a look at some of their players. Of course, if you want to go, if you're on a wild card, for example, and you're trying to cut some corners, money-wise, then let's find the goalkeeper, Nita. Here you are. 2% selected, 10 points so far. Did well in the opening game, keeping a clean sheet. 3 shots saved as well. Another 7 shots saved in matchday 2 against Belgium. He looked pretty good. And, you know, I know Moldovan was the hype pick going into matchday 1. But Nita looks like probably one of the best 4 million goalkeeper picks for the matchday. There is a 4 million defender for Romania if you're looking to cut some costs as well. Banku, there you are. Banku. Oh no, I don't want to put you in my team, Banku. I want to just have a wee look at yous. I want to have a wee look at yous, Banku. Where are yous? I've lost him again. There you are. Oh, why do I keep doing it? Oh, forget it. Right, Banku. Yes, Banku next. But 5 ball recoveries in the opening game. Not so good in the second game. But still, 4 million. What more can you expect? Decent value for money there. Decent value for money. We like the look of him. We certainly do. So definitely a player that I would be considering if you're looking to cut costs. Nita and Banku. There is, of course, also in the next place here was Slovakia, 34%. So around the same as Romania. Similar situation. There are some opportunities. So they're playing against each other. So you would be hoping perhaps for a 0-0. But if we look at goalkeepers, defenders, there are some cheap-ish guys. No one's super cheap necessarily, but Dubravka 4.5, not bad. Pekarik. Should we have a look quickly? See the Slovakian defenders with the best numbers right now. Lobotka's midfielder. Slovakia. I'm going to do a search. So, Slovakia, Pekarik, there we go. Pekarik, 10 ball recoveries, 4.5 million. You can do worse. You can do worse for cheap. For pretty cheap there as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much as far as you'd go for defenders. You could look at Italy, Netherlands, Denmark, Turkey. If you're on Limitless, I don't think there's any real need to do that unless you think like a Van Dijk is going to score an absolute banger. You know, if you think Van Dijk is going to score, then hey, maybe you can go for him. But there's opportunity. There's opportunity higher up here. Portugal is difficult. Portugal is difficult because of rotation. England is easy. France is easy. Spain is a little bit difficult. Germany is going to be super easy because we'll know exactly who's going to be playing. Belgium, I think they're going to be not too much rotation there. And I think Slovakia and Romania provide you with those cheap options. So whilst you could go for an Italy defender, you could go for a Van Dijk or a Frimpong or a Dumfries. You know, you've got a little bit of risk there for the right backs for the Netherlands, Dumfries and Frimpong. You haven't got that guarantee of minutes, which is kind of tough. I don't want to really. I don't think I'm going to go there, but I can understand why other people would go there. It's not for me, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't be for you. Risk and reward, isn't it, guys? But yeah, shout out to FPL Salah, by the way, for putting out these numbers over on Twitter. He also has put the Matchday 3 anytime scorer odds on here, which I think is really interesting. This I like. Now remember, guys, this is these probabilities that you see on screen right now. The show team gang in the chat, by the way, are relentless. They're just saying, I don't care about the justification. I don't want logic behind why you should pick a player. I just want you to tell me to pick a player so I can copy it and have that player in my team. Don't want a justification. I want to take the players. I want to take the points. I want to run away from FPL Mate's YouTube channel as quickly as physically possible. I'm sorry, guys, but we're putting on a 2-hour show here. It's not a case of just throwing a team up on screen. Go to Twitter if you want to see just a team to copy. There's loads on Twitter you can copy. Loads. And it's taking you 2 seconds. Just go on there, look, copy the team, move on. We don't do that here. We don't do that. We talk about it. We have a chat. We put the justification out there. So inevitably, when someone comes back to me and says, I copied your team and it didn't do very well. This player didn't do very well. Why did you tell me to pick him? I can say, well, I gave you the justification and the logic, and it's up to you whether you agree with me or not. Moving on. So Ronaldo, if he starts, has the best chance of a goal, and I would absolutely agree with that. If Ronaldo starts the game, remember, guys, these probabilities are based on the player starting. It assumes the player is going to start. It makes no consideration to the probabilities of the player starting. It makes just a quick and easy assumption. If the player starts, this is the probability of that player scoring a goal. Ronaldo, 58%. Definitely agree with that, but don't know. I'm not convinced enough that he's going to start. After that, Mbappe, 52%. Okay, now we're talking. We've got some players who we are more convinced are going to start. Mbappe, Kane, Lukaku, all really nice numbers. Really nice numbers and players that you should be considering. I think Mbappe is a very straightforward inclusion on any team. You know, I don't think there's an excuse for anyone to go against Mbappe. Do it. Just do it. Don't even think about it. It's a no-brainer. There's very few no-brainers in fantasy games, and usually you can make an argument or a case to go against certain players. But come on. Someone make a case to go against Mbappe. I can't do it. Kane, 50%, like we said. Lukaku, 45%. So we've got penalty takers here. Good fixtures for these players. They are premium players with great histories of scoring goals. Easy stuff. Morata, another player, super rotation risk. I don't think I would be going there. Tony, if he starts 42%, I think we can ignore Tony, to be perfectly honest. Ramos at Portugal, 42%. If he starts, a reasonable chance of him starting. But again, I think he's a little risky. Because you've got Ronaldo and Jota potentially competing for that central striker spot. I think Jota will actually play on the left, but there's a chance he plays through the middle. Joselu, 38%. If he starts, there's a decent chance that Joselu starts, but It's not guaranteed. Watkins, another player unlikely to start. And we've got Lisa Jota. Really interesting shout. One of the reasons why he is in my team is because if he does start, really nice odds there of him scoring a goal. We like him. We like him a lot. Giroud, Højlund is interesting. Thuram is interesting. Bruno Fernandes, João Felix, interesting. Patrick Schick, little injury problem there. Ferran Torres, really like, by the way. Really like Ferran Torres. It's a shame he's listed as a forward, because otherwise I would quite like to go for him. If Ferran Torres was listed as a midfielder, then I would put him ahead of Olmo. 7.5 million forward, if you want to go there. Think he gets minutes. Think he gets minutes, for sure. But, not for sure, obviously. But I don't think he's worth using a forward slot on. I don't think he's quite worth that. I'll rather go for Yazabal. I'd rather go for Olmo, who play as midfielders in the game. Che Adams, 31%. Fulkrug, 31%. Havertz, 31%. So basically, whichever forward starts for Germany has about a 31% chance of scoring. So let's see. Very soon we'll have the Germany lineup. As soon as we do, we'll be throwing it on screen and we'll be talking about it. And if Fulkrug starts, really, really nice punt. Really, really nice punt. I like it. Griezmann, 31%. If you want to double up on the France attack, I like it. I like it. Our Rin says Denmark players. Yeah, we got Højlund at 35%. If you want to go Denmark forward. We'll talk about Eriksen shortly as well. Varga, 31%. There's Varga, Shankland. I don't really think there's really enough justification to go for these players. There's too many better options. Mike Thompson in the chat says, which Twitter account is the best to copy? I can't endorse this kind of behavior, guys. You're going to have to do a little bit of work yourself. I know you're looking for a minimal effort way to play a fantasy game, but come on, you can at least search, go to Twitter and search Matchday 3 Limitless Team, and there'll be a whole bunch of results that come up, and you can choose who you trust. Just pick the one with the most followers and copy that team. I don't know. It's not my style. Depay, 29%. Gakpo, 29%. Mitrovic, 29%. Yamal. If I'm totally honest, with a lot of these players, because they are forwards, we probably don't have a place for them, because you're going to go for Mbappe, Kane, Lukaku, Jota. You're probably not going to deviate too much from a lot of these players. Those are probably the big four. Are they the big four? Maybe. Højlund there as well is a potential outside punt. Fulkrug and Havertz are going to be punts as well that you could go for. So when we get down to the likes of Mitrovic, Yamal, who I don't think is going to start anyway, Skamaka, not really too interested in these players because they're forwards. What I am interested in is a lot of these players who are listed as midfielders. So we've got a few midfielders here. Foden, 28%. I don't know if I agree with that. Palmer, 28%. If he starts, I still don't think Palmer's going to get a start, if I'm totally honest. Bellingham, 28%. Pretty decent. Musiala, 28%. Nice. Olmo, 28%. So, Olmo is a little bit behind Oyarzabal in terms of those bookies odds for goal scorer. But he's still very much in the mix. And Szoboszlai, a lot of people have criticised the Szoboszlai pick. He's playing against Scotland. Respectfully, Scottish people. It is a good fixture for Hungary. And Szoboszlai is the main man. He is going to be a creator as well. And I think what you do need to factor in when we're looking at these odds is, okay, these are the odds of them scoring a goal. Are these also players who have a good chance of getting an assist? And Szoboszlai certainly fits that bill. He really, really does. So I'm very tempted by him. Very tempted indeed. Florian Wirtz, we're expecting him to get the start. We've got other players like De Bruyne here. KDB, 27% of a goal, chance of a goal, but also a creator. So not only has he got a reasonably good chance of a goal, 27%, that's pretty decent for a midfield player. So an okay chance of a goal, also a creator. I think FPL Salah was actually answering some people in the chat, in the replies. Probability of Lukaku scoring an offside goal, 100%. 100%. Eriksen, 22% chance of a goal, but again, another creative player. So only 22% chance of scoring for Eriksen. But you know he's also going to be a creator. Set pieces, penalties as well. It all adds up. Anyway, those are your goal scoring odds. And I think there's definitely some things we can take from that. Szoboszlai I like. He's probably one of my favourites here. Alongside a Jude Bellingham. Now for me personally and my team... And by the way, this is not my final team. Anyone thinking I'm going to copy a team and we're all going to get some points together. I will make changes in the next hour. This is not final. I'm just showing you this as an example. We're going to do, well, I'll do an actual proper example team after we get the Germany lineup and the Hungary lineup. But I don't mind the idea of going for like a Szoboszlai and a Bellingham in here if we're playing the odds a little bit. That would leave us with a defender and a goalkeeper to go for. So I definitely want another England defensive asset. So it's a case of I need to pick one of Pickford and Trent. So who do we go for? Maybe play it safe with a Pickford. And then we have one final position in defence. Although, or could we go elsewhere? I think I want a Belgian defender for my final defender. Like, looking through the odds, I'm worried about Portugal rotation. England, I like. France, I like. So I'll double up on both of those teams. We've got Spain. We've got Germany. Belgium is the next team on the list of clean sheet odds. Do we go for... I mean, to be fair, we could go like a Trent and a Casteels, potentially. Something like that. Let's just see. I mean, I'm gonna confirm that for now, but I think we'll potentially make some changes here. And let's line it up as well. Actually, we can do that in a bit. We can line up in a bit. So, France, England on the same day. That's a good point. Yeah, France and England playing on the same day, so that wouldn't work anyway. Again, guys, I am just spitballing at the moment. We're just doing things off the cuff a little bit. We're not locking in anything yet. Okay, so that works. 2 goalkeepers on different days. We've got Magnon playing on Tuesday, and we've got Casteels playing on Wednesday, which is pretty nice. Don't mind the idea of going for a Germany goalkeeper. I could potentially double up on Germany's defense, and instead of Casteels, go for Neuer. Again, I'm going to have a look at the Germany lineup before we have a look any further than that. Foxes go all out France defenders. I think double France defense is enough. You need an Mbappe in there. So tripling up on France is not an option for me. Just not going to happen. Not doing it. Anyway. But yeah, Neuer, definitely a consideration there as well. Definitely a consideration. And that would be instead of Casteels, I think. Michael Scott in the chat says, update, Italy manager just said DeMarco is now fit and subject to a late fitness test. I did see rumours of DeMarco potentially being out. Let's see if the lineups are out, guys. I think there's a good chance of that being the case. Let's go Germany. What's their Twitter name? Is it like Die Mannschaft? If I just type German football. German football. Oh, do we want the... Oh, here we go. 2 minutes ago. Okay, so we've got the lineup. Full strength, no changes. Is that right? Yeah. Full strength for Germany. Not totally surprised by that. Again, I think at this point, what we do is we predict who is going to be substituted off early. So here we go, guys. I'm going to read out the Germany lineup to you. It is unchanged, but just in case you wanted an update, Manuel Neuer in goal. The centre-backs are going to be Rudiger and Tah. So no start for Schlotterbeck. Left-back, we're going to see Mittelstadt start again. The 4 million legend. Right-back, we're going to see Joshua Kimmich. In midfield, it's going to be Andrik and Kroos. Tim Weaver, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Legend, man. Thank you so much. Looking in the more advanced positions, it's going to be a trio of Wirtz, Musiala, and Gundogan. And then Havertz as the central striker. So no Füllkrug. Looking at the players likely to get subbed off early. Gundogan, strikes me immediately as a player likely to get subbed early. Gundogan and Mittelstadt are the two players in this lineup I am most worried about getting subbed early. And I know Musiala and Wirtz have been players subbed earlier on in the tournament, but they've had a decent amount of rest. Musiala also could be rested, but he's been so good. I think you take the punt anyway. Gundogan is I just can't see him playing anywhere close to 90 minutes if Germany are up. I cannot imagine. Mittelstadt on a yellow, so likely early sub. Yep, for sure. Gundogan is captain. Yeah, so what? Ronaldo's captain. We're worried about his minutes for Portugal. Why is Musiala going to get rested? I mean, yeah, he might a little bit, but there's no strong reason for him to get rested. Young, fit, playing well, breaking records. I think he's pretty good. I think he's pretty good to stay on. I like, you know, the players you want to worry about are players who have played loads of minutes, a la Mittelstadt, and players who are a little bit older, a la Gundogan, who has also played loads of minutes. But yes, that is all I'm going to say on that one. I don't want to kind of make any guarantees here. We can only make predictions. But I would be a little worried about Gundogan. If you are not worried about Gundogan, go for him. Go for him. I'm just saying my opinion. I'm personally not going to be putting Gundogan in my team. But anyway, let's crack on. Let's move on. I wonder if any of the other lineups out yet. It would be good to have them all, wouldn't it? Let's open a new tab and find Austria football. I can't remember what they're. It's not even Austria. It's Switzerland. Once again, I'm getting Switzerland and Austria mixed up. I think that will just run and run. Is this their account? Is this their account? I really struggle to find the Swiss football team account. I'm guessing it's this one. Sommer, Widmer, Akanji, Mbolo, Freuler, Xhaka, Rodriguez, and Doi, Erbischer, Cher, and Ryder. So, no Shaqiri. Shaqiri. Neither of those. Oh, Shaqiri's not playing. So there's a couple of changes in there. I think there's a couple of changes. Certainly from match day one, there's been a different team each match day by the looks of things. So yes, let's move on. Let's move on and find Hungary, and let's find Scotland as well. We'll do Scotland last. Hungary national football team. I'll just write Hungary football. Anyone know the Hungary football account? Let me know if you do. Know the Hungary Twitter account. Scotland football. Well, this is not what I'm looking for. This is hard, man. There we are. Scottish national team. Scotland national team. So no lineup for Scotland yet. But hopefully that comes in shortly. We do need to find the Hungary one still. Let me know if anyone knows in the chat what we're looking for there. And meanwhile, I think we'll do you guys a generic like wildcard team for matchday 3, and we'll do a generic limitless team as well. Bear with me. Oh, what am I doing? Euro. By the way, guys, whilst I'm just doing this, if you haven't done already, please do consider subscribing and liking. It does mean the world to me, and you get regular Euro content. We're going to be dropping videos, we're going to be dropping streams throughout the Euros before we move on to Premier League, Fantasy Premier League stuff. So please do. Please do go ahead and subscribe. Notifications on if you fancy it. And yeah, join it in with the fun. Why not? Right. I take it no one found the Hungary thing. Let's see here. So we've got Scotland there. We're going to refresh Scotland as we go. So Hungary. Someone said Hungary Football Extra. Oh, Hun Football Extra. Is this the official? Well, this is not the official account, but they have got the starting 11 by the looks of things. So Gulashi in goal, Dardai, Orban, and Botka in defence. Left wing back Kirkes, right wing back Bola. In midfield Schaffer and Styles. And then a front three of Szoboszlai, Varga, and Salai. A few people have been asking me about Varga, by the way. It's really risky, you know, sacrificing one of your forward slots, but I don't hate it. Definitely don't hate it. Something you could potentially do there. Think about it. Think about it, but I'm not going to go there personally, but I don't mind it. I certainly wouldn't discourage you guys from going for Varga. Scotland, are we there yet? We are there. First of all, though, I'll leave that on screen, guys, because we've got a super chat from J Pups. Thank you very much for the super chat, J Pups. My two priority transfers are Veerman and Kuiper, neither getting mints, but is downgrading DeMarco/Trent worth it to get a better mid for Veerman? Potentially. There's not too many cheap midfielders I like at the moment. So no, I'm gonna say probably is worth downgrading. It's two transfers. Yeah, maybe downgrade DeMarco. If you can downgrade DeMarco to like a 4 million defender and then upgrade Veerman to a different midfielder, then go for it. But like at the same time, J Pups, like if you've got a few issues in your team, consider just using a chip. Wildcard, limitless. Consider it. I think it's definitely worth considering. But it depends on your strategy, what you want to do there. Yeah, DeMarco, based on the fact he has a knock, I'm not really totally convinced I want to go there. I'd be okay with selling him as well. Hopefully that helps. Anyway, Scotland lined up. Garnett in goal. We've got Ralston, Robertson, McTominay, Hanley, McGinn, McGregor, Adams, Hendry, Gilmore, and McKenna. Yeesh. This team is not... I'm really tempted by Szoboszlai. Really tempted by Szoboszlai. I really am. Okay. We'll see how we get on. Right. Let's do you guys some drafts. We got the info. We've got the info that we need. We're gonna start afresh. We're gonna start anew. We're gonna make a wildcard draft first of all for you guys, because I know you guys have been begging out for a wildcard draft. You need it. There's a lot of people on the wildcard right now. Let's see what we got for you guys. So Mbappe straight away, straight up, easy, light work. We do need to be a little bit careful with our money. So I'm gonna go for the Romanian goalkeeper Nita. So there's a little bit of money saved there. We're going to go for Mark Gay at 4.5 million. Again, budget pick, but a really strong budget pick. We're going to go Fast from Belgium at 4 million. Where are you, Fast? Why are you coming, Fast? There you are. Why are you coming into my fantasy team, Fast? Germany. Musiala. Easy. We're going to go for Pickford as our other goalkeeper at 5 million. He's a nice cheap way into the England defence, and I do want to double up there. I think we go for at least one France defender, so we'll go Koundé at 5 million. Decent value for money. Again, wildcard, we do need to be thinking about budget a little bit here. I'm going to double up on the Belgian attack as well. I think with De Bruyne and Lukaku. Final slot, really, in attack. I wanted to go for Kane, really. For, like, that template, you know, example team. That's where I think I would go. I want to go in on the Germany defense here. So, I think that's going to be budget dependent. Rudiger or Ta. We'll put in Ta for now. If we have some money left over, we can maybe considering upgrading that position. And then after that, I want Spanish players. Regardless of whether you're on a limitless or a wild card, and even though I'm trying to make a safer team here for you guys, I would still be taking these punts on these two. Oyarzabal and Grimaldo. I think both of them are worth a risk. But please, 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 guys, accept you are playing with a little bit of fire here. You are, there's some risk. Liam is saying about Musiala getting rotated. I mean, he's starting. We already know he's starting. If you don't fancy him, this is... I'm not holding anyone at gunpoint and saying you must pick this team. If you disagree with any of my picks, please change it. I don't want to pick a team for you. I don't want to go against what you guys are saying. I'm just providing what I believe to be a reasonably safe and sensible template for you guys to have a look at and maybe use as inspiration for your own teams. That's my only objective with this team. That is my only objective. If you disagree with anything, change it. If you like Gundogan, go for him. If you like Wirtz, go for him. If you want to go for a Havertz, do it. If you don't like Tat, you want to take the risk on middle stats minutes, go for it. Do it. I don't want to take anything away from you guys there. Which leaves us with 2 midfield slots. And we have 11.5 to fill them. We do need to cut some corners here. We do need to find some budget picks. Because we have spent a lot of money here on some other positions. Particularly that front line, those forwards. Spenny. Mad Spenny. So if we wanted an Olmo, for example, doesn't work. Doesn't work. 7 million midfielder would potentially work, but we'd have to find a 4.5 midfielder to go alongside him, and I'm not sure we can do that. So we're going to have to look in the bargain basement, or maybe look to downgrade one of our other players. And I think if we had to downgrade someone, it would perhaps be Kane. Go for like a Havertz and go for Bellingham in midfield. Maybe that's the play. Because Kane is expensive if you're on a wild card. Issa says, I reckon Rudiger for Ta. I definitely prefer Rudiger, but if we're trying to operate within the budget, we need to be a little bit more safe and sensible, I guess. So we're going to be a little safer. And we're going to say... Who should we say? We know Shaqiri's not starting. Who scored like the most points so far? Is this a good way to judge this? Probably not. Probably not. What about like a Lobotka? Lobotka's been doing really, really well so far this tournament for ball recoveries. 9 in the first game, 7 in the second game. You know these are not crazy points, but if you can get a man of the match, a player of the match award again against reasonably good Romania fixture, it could be okay. I don't expect him to be involved in many goals, but it could be a nice way to save some money. Baumgartner is another player who did well for 6.5. So just some suggestions there. But I think for the sake of this team and trying to build something safe and sensible, we're going to go the Havertz route. If I'm totally honest with you guys, I'm not completely convinced by Havertz as a pick for Matchday 3. It's okay, but it doesn't fill me with joy. That leaves us with 5.5. There are a few at 5.5. Like Stanshu is definitely one of my favourite 5.5 million midfielders. Lobotka there as well. I think maybe one of these. And these are kind of your just enabler. Your enablers. The only bad thing is they play on the final day. So 24, 24. Yeah, they play on the final day. I prefer my riskier picks earlier on in the match day. So maybe we do need to go back to the drawing board a little bit here. Or pick someone else entirely. Do we go for Someone else who plays earlier on. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. I don't know. Need like a hidden gem or something, but there's not really been too many in ways of hidden gems. Maybe we need to cut even more money. Cut budget even further. Do we go Havertz down? I'm less convinced by him. Do we just forget Bellingham and say no England attackers? I don't know. I think these last 3 slots are difficult. I think everyone else I'm pretty happy with. But these last 3 slots are tough. They really are. Do we go for another... Do we go for a French player potentially? Do we just say, okay, Kante's done well so far. Will he do it again? 6 million for Kante. Not sure if it's good value for money. Even though he does play slightly early on in the match day. Okay. Let's forget Bellingham for a second here. Let's choose our favourite midfielders first. We'll try and go a little cheaper here. We maybe go for players like Eriksen or Szoboszlai and see how much money we have then. If we went for both of these players, how much money would we have? Szoboszlai's barely scored any points so far, but still. That leaves us 8.5 for a forward. Can we get Griezmann for 8.5? I can't remember how much Griezmann costs. 9. Oh, that's tight. That's tight. Can we... Jota is 8.5. Oh, don't remind me. The thing is, I'm trying to create a safe team because this is the team people will copy and blame me if it goes wrong. I know people are not ready for the risk with Jota. I know people are not ready for this risk. Some people will be. A lot of people will not be ready for it. Maybe Griezmann is the safer pick here. Although saying that, if I am totally honest with you guys, this team for a wild card looks strong. This looks strong. I like this. If I'm on a wild card, my team probably looks something like this. Maybe not exactly like this, but very, very close. Very close. I don't know if there's any other minor changes I can make to free up some money. Can't really in goal. Defenders. There's no real defense there that I'm willing to sacrifice. Some people are saying Taff and Mittelstadt. I just don't think I can make that recommendation because I do truly believe that Mittelstadt is in danger of an early substitution. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think there's like... Right. Chances of Mittelstadt being substituted before 60 minutes. I would say there is about a 40% chance that happens. So it's more likely that Mittelstadt does play beyond 60 minutes. But I think there's a significant enough chance that if you are on a wild card or a limitless and you have free reign to pick any player you want, why take that risk on that 40% chance? Why take that risk? Stick for 0.5 million to upgrade to Ta. I don't know. Charles says last time he did a double sub off at 59 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, because Wirtz and Havertz got 1-pointers. So, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. But yeah, I in general, I like this team. I like this team a lot. If I'm on a wild card, I think I would be really, really close. Economics says all your strikers play on the same day. Why do people care about all of the same position playing on the same day? It doesn't matter. There's a lot of these players play on the last day. What you do is you put... Well, you start Mbappe because you play him pretty much no matter what. Or maybe you start Lukaku because Lukaku's... You know, even though Mbappe's like 99% going to start, Lukaku's like 100% going to start. So maybe you start with Lukaku. and wait for team news and updates, ready to sub Mbappe in. And on your bench, you also have Diogo Jota, because he's the riskiest player here. You only bring him on if you really are happy to take that risk on the final day. You have Wout Face, who's going to be on your bench as well. And De Bruyne on your bench potentially as well. So yeah, it would be Nita, Face, De Bruyne and Jota on your bench, actually. Something like that. And it doesn't matter if you got 3 forwards, you know, playing on the last day. It makes no difference. You can sub on forwards for defenders and defenders for midfielders. And yeah, the only position you can't swap is goalkeepers for any other position other than goalkeepers. Your outfield players, you can swap anyone for anyone as long as your formation is valid. There's like a set of valid formations which involves a minimum of 3 defenders, a minimum of 2 midfielders, and a minimum of 1 forward. Is that right? I think. Something like that. So yeah. How confident are you that HzfCWh plays? Pretty confident, yeah. Like 90%. Pretty decent. Lee saying, what team would you do if you had a wild card? Something like this, my friend. Something like this. This is for wild card though. You guys want to see a limitless? Should we do a limitless draft? Yeah, you guys seem very keen on that. All right. Let's go then. We'll start again. We'll do a limitless. I'm going to take out Jota and we're going to go a little safer. We're also going to potentially spend a little bit more money as well. So a lot of these players are going to be removed. Okay. Let's get started. So, I would go Magnon. Or would I? Would I actually go for Pickford? Because we're trying to be... This is a safe team. It's a safe, limitless team. So we'll go Pickford, Gay. We'll go Castiles for the goalkeeper. Ross Wheeler, Super Chat says, thoughts on Frimpong? Risky, as always with minutes, as we know very well with Frimpong by now. If you are happy to take that risk, he has a very, if he plays a lot of minutes, he has got a good chance of getting attacking returns, which is definitely something you look for. Ball recovery is not so good. If Netherlands don't score well and concede, then you're in trouble with Frimpong, but he's playing early enough in the match day where you can sub him off if it all goes wrong. So in general, yeah, if you're happy to use up at one of your defender slots on a slightly riskier player, then Frimpong is definitely a player to consider. Yeah, like him. He's not going to go in this team because this is our safe team. This is our super safe team as a template. So Hill says, thoughts on Gordon on Limitless? Not too keen. Not too keen. Don't think he starts, personally. There's always a chance, but I don't think he starts. So, right, we've got double England. I think we go for potentially a Theo Hernandez here as our final defender. So let's find Theo Hernandez, double up on the France defence there, and we'll go into midfield next. And we are going to go for 2 midfielders next. And yeah, this is a tough one. Because part of me wants to play safe and just say, okay, let's go for the safest options we have. Wirtz is, by definition, very safe because we already know he's starting. Brad in the Super Chat says, need a 7.5 million striker. Who should I go for? We can have a quick look. We can have a quick look, my friend. No problem at all. Oh, well, Havertz is right there. Havertz or Højlund? Or Depay. Havertz, Højlund or Depay. I like Austria, so I don't know if I go for Depay personally. Højlund is a fun pick, to be fair. You know what, Brad? This is just a suggestion, but I don't mind Højlund. Sahil says, would you rule out any Dutch players? I wouldn't rule out any Dutch players. I think they carry some risk. I do think that Austria are a decent team, and they're scrappy and they get they seem to be able to just get the clean sheet over the line. Really, really impressed with Austria defensively so far. Yes, they haven't exactly kept clean sheet so far, but they've proven they're a difficult team to play against and to score against. And I think that's the exact same theme we're going to see in Matchday 3. They're going to try and nick a 1-0 against the Netherlands, I think. So, obviously, Netherlands do have some quality in their team. I don't think they've got the best attacks in their team. But they have some decent attackers. I'm not overly keen on them personally, and I think they are risky, is what I would say about them. Right. We got 2 more slots to fill, and we're gonna fill them with some safe players, and the safe players are Eriksen and Szoboszlai. Yeah, Eriksen and Szoboszlai, pretty safe. So this is a limitless team, like a safe limitless team that I think will work for the masses. I think if you are just looking for a rough guide of the kind of team you might want to go for, then this is probably something like what I would go for. And then if you don't like any of the players, or if you think some of these players can be sacrificed, you can make little changes to it, add your own spice, add your own flavour to it. Yeah, I would always encourage you guys to not follow things blindly, and, you know, think about what you like and what you are looking to get from your fantasy team. Some people like risk, some people don't. Some people like to have more players from certain teams, and that's okay as well. Some people like to play fantasy games avoiding entire teams, of course, and that's fine too. If you're having fun, you're always winning. Tom Smith with the super chat says Grimaldo and Castells or Castagna and Donnarumma. I like Grimaldo and Castells more out of those 2 combos. That's where I'd be more likely to go personally, I think. So, yeah, let's say that. Of course, we could go for Bellingham in this team as well, couldn't we? But we've got Kane. I'd rather have the double England defence. I think if you're going for Kane, you don't have Bellingham. I think double England defence and then one of Kane or Bellingham. I don't even think an England attacker is essential, to be totally honest with you guys. You certainly could do. But it's non-essential. Super chat from Aria says, what do you think on Mela? He can play attacking on both flanks against Serbia, who has just scored 1 in 2 matches. Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit risky because I don't think he's nailed on for minutes, because you've got Bat and you've got Christensen there as well. If you're on Limitless, you fancy a risky punt towards the beginning of the match day, the Mela, again, he's definitely one of those players. Kind of like a Dumfries, kind of like a Frimpong. Like, they're a little risky. But you say, okay, I want to take some risks. This is one of the risks I quite like the look of, and you go for it. So, yeah, if you're happy to take on that risk, to be honest, in the defender positions, there's so many strong defenders for this match day. There's so many strong defenders. I think you can definitely afford to take a risk on one of them. I'd say that my favourite riskier defender is got to be Grimaldo. But Mela, if you're on a limitless, Mela is decent, you know, for limitless. If you're on a wild card, I wouldn't go for Mela because he's not worth that money, 5.5 million. He's just not worth that. But if money is no issue, then it's a slightly different scenario. By the way, guys, what are we saying for match day 1, first captain? Should we do a captain poll? Let's do a captain poll. Right, guys, throw in the chat who is your favourite captain who plays today. Is it Gundogan? Is it Musiala? Is it Wirtz? Is it Mittelstadt? Is it Rudiger? Is it Szoboszlai? Is it McTominay? Whoever, let me know in the chat, and the 4 names we see most in the chat, we'll put them in a poll, and we'll see what you guys are saying. So, we're seeing We're seeing a lot of Musiala. We're seeing a surprising amount of Szoboszlai. Chat's going wild, by the way, guys. I need to check actually how many people are watching the stream. I haven't checked. Right, Szoboszlai. We're seeing a lot of love for Szoboszlai. I like it as a risky day one punt. I like it. Rubate says Captain Szoboszlai taking risks here. I love it, man. I love it. Ragav says, join stream late. Are you playing Limitless today? Yes, my Limitless is active, my friend. Getting active. Man's getting active. Who are the other players you guys are saying? It seems like Musiala and Szoboszlai are dominating it. Thank you very much for the super sticker there, Gavin. All right, so Musiala, Szoboszlai. Do we put Gundogan in there as well? I think he seems to be reasonably popular. I guess because of how well he did already last match day. Captain the player who scored the most points last week. It often works as a strategy. Not going to lie. All right, so we've got Musiala, Szoboszlai, Gundogan. One more. Rudiger, I don't mind. If you're going to go for a defender, I would go for Rudiger. I think. I wonder if anyone will put Middlestat though. Havertz. A few people said Havertz. I think I'd be less confident on that one. I think whoever I put in this final slot. I'm not going to put other because people will inevitably misunderstand the assignment and say, "Oh no, I think it should be Mbappe," and they'll put other because they're saying Mbappe. But I'm talking about day one captains, just captains from today. Havertz is probably looking like the other guy to put in here. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Another super chat here from Sahil says, Limitless, Magnon, Castells, Grimaldo, Teo, Van Dijk, Gay, Face, Szoboszlai, Iarthabal, Bellingham, Musiala, KDB, Kane, Mbappe, Lukaku. Might go Pickford and sub out Virgil van Dijk for someone, but not quite sure who. Sahil, your team looks strong, man. I don't think you need to make any changes. It looks good. It looks strong. It looks solid, my friend. Okay, let's start the poll because I want to see what you guys are saying. The options are Musiala, Szoboszlai, Gundogan, or another Germany player. So whether that's Mittelstadt, Rudiger, Havertz, Wirtz, whoever. Let me see you guys. Let me see what you got. Let me see what you got for me. Make sure you guys are voting in the poll. Let's see how many votes we can get in there. Can we get to 1k votes? You get a good idea after 1k votes, I think. All right, guys, real quick. Let's see how many people are here. Holy smokes. Holy moly. What is going on? There are over 4,000 people here. What? How? Who are now seeing my hat? Look at the gap here. Who are seeing my fantastic hat here? Oh my word! Where did all you guys come from? Over 4,000 people. That is class. 200,000 subscribers today, and now we're streaming to 4,000 people. I never expected this during the Euros. I didn't even know that many people played Euros Fantasy. You guys are legends. If you are new, make sure you are hitting the subscribe button. Subscribe for more fantasy content, please, guys. I would love it. Man, I'm having a good day. Oh, I'm feeling very, very grateful right now. I'm not going to lie. Feeling very grateful. Heroic. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Man, they're all out here. Oh man, I need to control my excitement and actually just concentrate on the task in hand. But guys, love. Yeah, so this Limitless doesn't contain any Portugal players. I know some people have said, okay, there's no Portugal players in this Limitless team on screen. And the reason why is because Portugal, I'm finding a little bit difficult to predict with certainty who is going to start, because I think they have a few more options than a Spain, for example. I think Jota is going to start, for example, and he would be the one attacker I would go for. But you also got Pedro Neto, who's listed as a midfielder at 7 million, 7.5, 7 million, 7.5, something like that, who looks okay. Defenders is really, really tough. I don't know how much rotation there's going to be in the Portugal defense. But my biggest issue with Portugal players is that they play the last fixture pretty much. The last fixture pretty much of the match day. So we're not even going to get early substitution window. We won't even know about the Portugal lineup before we decide whether to substitute in our Portugal players or not. So you're taking a huge risk with Portugal players. And we've just got a super chat. Oh my word. We've just got a $50 super chat. Have I peaked? Has YouTube, has the FPL Mate YouTube channel peaked? Bennett Logan, $50 super chat says, love your joy. Let's do a risky limitless. Bennett, for you, my friend, for $50, there's very little I will not do. For $50, I'll be your fantasy your fantasy football bitch. I don't care. Let's go. What a legend. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, right. Bennett, this is for you, my brother. Bennett, this is for you. We're going risky. Final draft we're going to do today. So, just to go over what we've done so far, for anyone joining in, this is a Matchday 3, a safe Matchday 3 wildcard team. Make a couple of tweaks to it if you need to. If you want to throw in a couple of risks to there and you have an idea of some certain players, go for it. This next team is your safe Matchday 3 limitless team. Again, a couple of changes if you need to. Your FPL station says it's your day. Man, honestly, I feel like it's my day. I feel like it's Dan Day. It's Dan Day's day. I'm so happy. I really am. Bennett Logan as well. Thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Thank you very much, man. So yeah, this is your safe limitless team. Again, make any tweaks if you want to. And we're going to finalize here with a risky limitless team. And I cannot say enough how little I recommend rolling with the team I'm about to make. Do not pick this risky team. It is too risky. It is too hot to handle. Even Bennett will not be picking this risky team. It is too risky. But we're gonna run it anyway. Well, I mean, for the purpose of this stream, we're gonna run it. Please subscribe. So first of all, Jota goes straight in. Jota is the risky punt I love. I think we also go on those risky Spanish players. Grimaldo. We've got another red super chat. 500 knocks. 500 knocks. That is Norwegian krona. And that's from Jan Henning. Says, thanks for all the content, mate. You're incredible. Thank you so much, Jan. Now, knock to GBP. So I can tailor my reaction accordingly. It's £37. That's like the same as $50. What's going on? What is going on? Oh my word. Oh, thank you, Jan. Thank you, Jan. You're a legend. You're a legend. Bennett, $10. Another $10. Legend. Okay, Bennett, we're making you a team that you're going to use. Guys, you're legends. Please stop sending me money now, though. Please stop sending me money because I really massively appreciate it, and it really does go far into supporting the channel. I actually do need to get a new camera lens. So that's really, really going to help. So thank you so much for that. But I need to concentrate. Because we've got 30 minutes till deadline. And I want to make sure we are delivering the content without... You're breaking me. You're actually breaking me. I'm not going to lie. All right. I think if we're going risky, we're doing Bennett's risky team. I think we double up on the France attack. Mbappe and Griezmann. I think that's where we go. I think we go Van Dijk. I think we go... I think we go Bruno Fernandes because if he does start, he's going to cook. I'm just not convinced he is. I think Fernandes is like 50-50 going to start or not. It is really risky. Really risky. But I think we'll continue on. I mean, Ronaldo would be a risky pick as well. And Ramos would be a risky pick. There's lots of risky options there. Let's go to the... Let's go to the midfield. I think even if you're going super risky, I think there's some players that just pick themselves. I think De Bruyne just picks himself, particularly if you're not going for Lukaku. I wouldn't say De Bruyne is a risky player, but I'm making a viable team, a team that can be used. And Bennett, I don't want to send you to the trenches, really, my friend. Jan, what are you saying, by the way? Jan, are you going to be going with a risky team as well? Let's see. Right. FPL Discomfort says Inacio is the fun, risky Portuguese defence pick. You know what, mate? I actually do agree with you. I do agree with you. Good numbers. Good clean sheet odds against Albania. Not against Albania? What am I yapping about? Georgia. Blood's yapping. I think Trent. I think for a risky England defender, Trent. Goalkeepers, there's not really much you can do in terms of risk for a goalkeeper, so we'll maybe get there last. We'll go to that last. I think we've got to have a Germany defender of some kind. I think Mittelstadt is risky, in fairness. So maybe Mittelstadt is the guy to go for? Or do we save our Germany defensive slot for like a Neuer and try and find a more risky, a more exciting defender to go for? We've got our Portugal triple up. We've got our... Well, we need a France... We need a France defender. Calafiori is an interesting shout for a risky defender. Yeah, I don't mind that. Why Grimaldo? He's gonna, because I think if Spain do a full rotation, Grimaldo will start and he'll be on set pieces as well, which should be good. Jan says pretty much similar to some of your drafts, but sticking with Jota, Trippier. I think fair play, man. I just would warn you about some rumors around Trippier's fitness, maybe not being quite there at the moment. So I think a little bit of caution on Trippier would I would probably recommend. Jota I love, though. Okay, what are you guys saying for other risky players? FPL Worm says Baumgartner. Like it. Cambiasso? That is risky. That is risky. Don't hate it. Do we double up on the... I mean, this is suicidal. This is suicidal ways of playing Euro Fantasy. To double up on the Netherlands defence with Frimpong and Van Dijk. But hey, let's run it. In that, if we did go there, we'd have to go for Neuer here. And I would like probably to have Magnon as well as a backup goalkeeper. Which leaves us with 2 midfield slots. I actually do genuinely think that Szoboszlai offers one of the best risk versus reward opportunities out of all of the midfielders. Because if he scores if he assists, you know, he's definitely a player that you can imagine getting man of the match. Player of the match. Remember to say player of the match. So, yeah, I know he's safe in terms of minutes, but I think Szoboszlai is risky in terms of points. So, for that reason, we're going to throw him in. And I think the last one is difficult. Is it like a case of going for Olmo? Doubling up on that Spain attack? I think it potentially is. Or do we go for it? We've got no England attackers. We've only got one England player, to be fair. That's risky in itself. But that's what we're trying to do. Alright, whilst we figure out that final position, FPL The Only One has put in a super chat that says, best 3 9 million forwards. So Lukaku is number 1, without doubt. Second for me is Diogo Jota, and third is Griezmann. So Lukaku, Jota, Griezmann, in that order for 9 million forwards, in my opinion. Right, no German attack. No, we don't have a German attack. But I think that's a risk. If I was going super risky, I think that is one of the punts I'd be looking to go for. I hope for a low-scoring game from Germany and take a punt against the German attack. Because realistically, Germany only need a 0-0 draw to top the group. If they just sit back, get 0-0, play on the counter-attack a little bit, they're done. Light work. So, for that reason, I think if we're going super risky here, I think we leave the German attackers. And instead, Trossard's an interesting one. Do you think he comes back into the team? I'm not convinced. He's risky. Maybe almost the one. Maybe Olmo is the one. Alright. Slovakia attacker, someone says in the chat. Not really too much going on for Slovakia attackers, if I'm totally honest. It's not really too many options that I like the look of, generally speaking. And it's very difficult to predict where their goals are going to come from as well. Okay. I'm happy with that. Bennett, your thoughts? Your thoughts on this? Firmin. Is he worth going for? Are we expecting him to start? I've not seen him in any predictions. If that you are on about this, are you on about this player, Fermin Lopez? Nah. Oyarzabal and Olmo are the standouts for Spain midfielders, I think. For if you're going risky, that is. Okay. I'm happy with that. Fermin Lopez is a risky pick. But yeah, I'm also picking players like I like. The risks I like. Robbie Brown says, you think Limitless is definitely the player over Wildcard? Yes, I do, Robbie. It'd be nice to save that Wildcard for later on in the tournament, because Wildcard can change your team permanently. Another thing that when you think about, if you use a Limitless in Matchday 5, for example, you basically set your team up in Matchday 4 with the unlimited transfers for the round of 16. And then you'll basically have to run with the same team that you have in the round of 16. You're going to pretty much have the same team for the semi-finals. And that is big. How many transfers is that? I think like 3 or 4 free transfers for the semi-finals, maybe 4. So you'll have just 4 free transfers to move from a round of 16 team to a semi-finals team. You might have 50% of your players might be knocked out of the tournament. You'll only have 4 transfers to fix it, because you use the Limitless between Matchday 4, and 6. So limitless in match day 5, for me, is just not a good play. You might do well in that individual week, but you set yourself up for failure. And the wildcard, because the wildcard is permanent, you get to keep your wildcard team, whereas that's not the same with a limitless team. It's slightly different. So the limitless later on in the tournament doesn't really work for me, because I think the permanent transfers are really important during the knockout stages. So yeah, we're gonna stick with that. Harrison says Dallo. Dallo I like, to be fair. You could go Dallo instead of Inacio. You could definitely go for that. We also got a super chat here from Alf, who says Gakpo is the best value forward. No love. Is he the best value forward? Like I mentioned earlier, I quite like the Austrian defence. I think Cody Gakpo is a decent player, but I don't think he is a world beater in the same way as like Mbappe, Jota, Griezmann, who we've got in this team, Lukaku, Kane, Ronaldo. These kind of forwards get me off my seat. I know these guys are gonna have the ability to score a hat trick on any given game, and we saw that a little bit at the World Cup. We saw a little bit of that from Cody Gakpo during the group stages, but I'm not sure he's being utilised in the same way. I'm not sure he has the same form right now. He's okay. He's an okay forward pick. I don't mind him at all. But I've not seen anything so far this tournament that's made me think, yeah, he's going to cook against Austria. It could happen, don't get me wrong. But, you know, this is a wild card. This is a limitless. If you're using chips, you want to maximise the amount of points you can get. And I think players like Mbappe, Jota, Kane, Lukaku, these are the players with that high ceiling. Ayo says Inacio or Antonio Silva. I will go for Inacio, personally. Definitely going to keep Mbappe. I think Mbappe goes in every team, no matter what you're doing. He goes in. How sure are we on Mbappe playing? I'm 99%. I'm 99% sure on that. How is Musiala a better captain than Gundogan? I don't know. Ask chat. I think Musiala is on for better minutes than Gundogan. And I think that's why. Alf says he's outscored most of them. Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like fantasy points are great when you're looking back at them, but when you're looking forward, you want potential points. Points that a player has already got are largely irrelevant. They're a good indicator of a good player, but they don't define a good pick. Like how many points? Like if we look, let's go forwards and just order them by points. He is top so far because of that scoring one goal. He scored one goal and got player of the match in that game. Match day 2 against France, he was invisible. And it was because it was outside the box as well. And he got player of the match, of course. Do not underestimate Austria. If you really like Cody Gakpo, I don't want to put you off him. You should absolutely, if you think he is the best forward in the game, you should absolutely go for him. I never ever want to tell people what to do or tell people that they're wrong. You know, this is literally everything you see on this channel is just my opinion. And it's just about, you know, my thought processes. But I'm not always going to be right. A lot of the time I'm not right. As you will soon see. But for me, Cody Gakpo does not break the top 5, 6, even 7 best forwards for matchday 3. For me. So he's nowhere near any team that I'll be making. But if you like him, you like him. If you're trying to save some money in particular, that's where you consider him. But arguably, I prefer Depay. Depay's on penalties. Depay's on free kicks. I think Depay actually has more routes to fantasy points than Cody Gakpo does. Sahil says, thinking about going Neuer and Magnon or Pickford sub. Magnon and Pickford play on the same day, so go for Neuer. Would be my recommendation there. Neuer I do like, though. I do like the idea of going for Neuer. Olivia says, do you think Fernandes will play? Not convinced. I'm not convinced either. I'm not convinced either. David's family says, thoughts on Doku Punt or any other 7 million cheaper forward? If I had to go for a cheap forward, I mean, can you stretch to 7.5 and go for a Højlund? Or a Havertz? Or a Cody Gakpo? Or a Depay? The one cheap forward that does look good is this Varga guy, starting as a striker against Scotland. So Varga is a player I definitely think about going for. Hopefully that helps. How long we got, by the way, guys? 14 minutes. Guys, make sure you are beginning to lock in your teams now, by the way. Because we are getting very, very close to the deadline. Turbo says, do you have any evidence to indicate Mbappe starting? No. He was on the bench. He's played a... Well, evidence to say he'll start. I have indication. Not about evidence. So, yeah, he was on the bench last game. France need goals in this final game. And Mbappe is one of the greatest goal scorers in world football. Certainly, if you're looking to create goals and score goals, Mbappe is, he's the guy. He's played a behind closed doors friendly match where he scored 2 goals and he got 2 assists to just test out wearing the mask. And it worked well, looked good. He was happy. He's ready to go. So yeah, there's a lot of indication that Mbappe will start to an extent where I'm like 99% he will start. I'm not worried about it personally. But if you don't think he's going to start, then don't feel forced to put him in your team. But yeah, there we go. Show Team Gang is out in full strength by the looks of things, which is interesting. This, by the way, guys, is not my team. This is a team for Bennett in the chat who asked me for a super risky, the ultimate risky limitless team. So this is, for me, the ultimate risky limitless team. And it's not something I'd run myself. Standard limitless team is here. This is a nice limitless team. So here, what the chat says, got Neuer, Magnon, or Pickford sub. Oh, okay. I'll go for Pickford. So yes, this is your limitless team. I think this looks pretty good. I'll be running something very similar to this. And this is your wildcard team. So we've got a wildcard team on screen here, guys. Do feel free to take a screenshot. It will last longer. We've got a limitless team here, template. And a super risky limitless team as well. We got some good teams. We got 3 good teams for you to consider having a look at, using it as inspiration for your teams. Why Ericsson? Ericsson's on the safe one and the wild card. Well, the safe wild card and the safe limitless. Because he's a safe player, good fixture, set piece taker, creative, little chance of goals as well, nailed on. He's got some good reasons to go for him. So yeah, will Unai Simon play? I'm not convinced. Will Fernandes start? Again, I'm not convinced. Ignacio or Dallo? To be honest, the more I think about this, the more I think maybe we can put Dallo in this risky team. Vadim says, what do you think about Orban or Pepe? Pepe is not going to start. I would be really surprised if Pepe started in Matchday 3. Orban, yeah, if you want to. I think there's other opportunities for goalkeepers, though, who are just as cheap and maybe have better chances of clean sheets. But it's fine if it works with the structure of your team. Alm says, Jota and Jude or Kane and Bruno? I would say Jota and Jude. Yeah, let's go Jota and Jude. Jeremy says, many Thunderbolt FC. Was it FC Thunderbolt? Thunderbolt FC. FC Thunderbolt. in the chat. That is a throwback, by the way, Jeremy. Not many people in this chat will understand that reference. Anyway. Which is the best Denmark defender? Difficult to say. If you're on Limitless, I think Mailer is worth potentially taking a risk on. Vox, we're not doing team ratings today. There's just not enough time, I'm afraid, my friend. There's just not enough time. Unfortunately. I say unfortunately. I think rating teams gets a bit old. We did it yesterday, didn't we? We can't do it every day. So even if we did have time, we probably wouldn't. Oh, maybe we would. I don't know. We'll do some more team ratings for match day 4, though. For sure. Because it was quite fun doing the stream yesterday. We'll do another stream for match day 4. We'll rate some teams. Make sure you are subscribed with notifications on if you want to have your team rating. We will be doing it live. So unless you're in the live chat, it will only be people in the live chat who I'll be rating the teams of. Show Limitless chip again, says Elise. Yep, hold on. Got so many tabs now. Right, this is the regular Limitless team. The non-risky one. The safe one. Safe. Gundogan or Szoboszlai? I think I prefer Szoboszlai to Gundogan. Over 5k votes? Is that right, Izito? Holy smokes. 5,200 votes in the poll, by the way. That's nuts. All right. Let's, I think we could probably end the poll at this point. So, according to the chat, the best captains in order are, for day 1, are Musiala on 60%. So, by far the favourite. If you want to go safe, if you want to go sensible on your day 1 captain, Captain Musiala. The second favourite is Gundogan on 19%. But what's really interesting is Szoboszlai on 15%. Now, considering that Szoboszlai has not scored, he has not got us any assists yet, and yet he is still getting 15% of votes, suggests that there is a contingent of fantasy players who are looking at Szoboszlai and thinking, this has potential, unrealized potential. So I think Szoboszlai at 15% compared to Gundogan 19% is really interesting. And I'd say, you know, someone asked earlier, Gundogan versus Szoboszlai for a 7 million midfielder. I think Szoboszlai. I'm not sure if I would captain him. The safe pick is Musiala. But if you want to take a risk on your day 1 captain, knowing you've got some good backup captain options for the other days during the week, then why not Szoboszlai? I mean, if we're totally honest, Mbappe is the one captain we're all looking for. And it's going to take a lot of points for us to stick on a captain rather than switching to Mbappe. So therefore, why not go high risk, high reward? Szoboszlai could easily get a goal and assist, a man of the match, player of the match, sorry, 6 ball recoveries, and score 1 million points. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a chance, a solid chance that could happen. If that does happen, then Mbappe who? Mbappe who? You've got your captain sorted for the rest of the match day. Super chat from Anmol says, congrats on 200k. Thank you very much, man. Very few of the first ones here. Your lock squad, Dan. Don't worry about my lock squad, my friend. If you're looking for a team to copy or use, Anmol, use the template. Use the template on screen. This is like on screen. You've got a Limitless template that is really, really strong. This is a really strong team. I don't want to lead anyone into unnecessary risk. We've spoken about a lot of risky players today. If you want to take some risks, take some players from this team. But this is my team for you guys. This is the one that, you know, I'm comfortable with you guys taking inspiration from. Mad Men at Work says no Simon, then Costa and Magnon. Face a good move. No Simon. Simon, I don't think Simon is going to start. Costa, I'm not convinced is going to start. Magnon, I think, is going to start. Face a good move. Yeah, I like Face. Hernandez or Guehi. I prefer Guehi to Hernandez for matchday 3. By the way, guys, we are just a few minutes. We are just a few minutes from deadline. So get those teams locked in. It's almost time to go and watch some footy. It's almost time to go and watch some footy. Uzer says, I don't know who to captain, Musiala or Szoboszlai. I'm really tempted by Szoboszlai because I'm happy to take a risk, but Musiala is the safe one I'd recommend to you guys. Thoughts on Bellingham? Is it a trap? No, I don't think it's a trap. Bellingham is fine. Who am I captaining? I'm on Szoboszlai right now, but please don't at me when it fails. Because if it fails, that's why we have our backup captains. Is Koundé better than Teo on Limitless? I think so, yes. But there's no real reason why you can't have both. To be fair. Oh, yeah. I like them both. Foden or Bellingham? I prefer Bellingham. Scotland and faves, by the way. Really? Interesting. I prefer Szoboszlai to Gundogan captain, I think. But again, Gundogan's safer. Is he safer? He's safer if you're playing against the masses. I don't think he's actually safer, though. Best German defender is Rudiger. McTominay over Szoboszlai, if you want to. I see the appeal. What about Ousmane Dembele? No. No. You know what? No. I'm going to say no. He's now not really historically done very well for France in terms of those goal contributions. So I'm going to go against that one, unfortunately. And one last decision for me is whether I go for a Belgian defender. Because I think you could feasibly take out Hernandez and go for like a face in this team. Who's more likely to concede? It's probably England, isn't it, than France? Nah, actually it's good. We're good. We've got Castiles there. I think Hernandez to face? Is that worthwhile? Maybe it is. Nah. No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it as is. We'll leave it as is. Guys, we've got like seconds until deadline. Literally seconds until deadline. So please be very, 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 very careful that you are finalising your team. You've locked it in. You've saved it. Saving it is very, very important. Don't want you guys to miss out on those valuable points. I'm just doing a double check on my team to make sure we are good. We'll throw that on screen as well. You guys have got all the drafts now. It's too late for you guys to make any changes pretty much by this point anyway. Let's throw my team on screen just so you guys can have a reference point to what I'm talking about. There we go. So we are. I am going to lock in Szoboszlai. We're locking in Szoboszlai for captain, which is exciting. Definitely exciting. See how the defenders go. Super interesting. But, guys, deadline's passed. Is deadline passed? We're locked in. Let's go. Okay, guys, let's wrap things up really quickly because I want to go and watch some football. You guys want to go and watch some football as well. I know a lot of you guys already leaving as I speak, but before you do, please do drop a like, do subscribe as well. Again, thank you so much for today. I've had an awesome day, and that has come through your support for this channel, whether that's, you know, watching the stream. We had over 4K people in here today, which was amazing. 200,000 subscribers today, which is amazing, and the super chats as well. Man, my day has been made. My day has been made in so many ways. So thank you guys so much. We're going to be back in a couple of days for more Euro fantasy content. I'm going to go watch some football. I suggest you guys do the same. Enjoy the last few hours of your weekend, and I will see you later, mates. See you next week for more videos. Bye-bye.